everyone, thank you for joining me for this video. So in this video I'm going to be giving you guys a review of Game of Thrones, or I'll be giving you guys my review of Game of Thrones in this video. Okay, so first of all, this contains a lot of spoilers, so if you have not both read the books and seen the show, then please don't watch this, because I do not want that blood on my hands. I do not want anyone mad at me because I gave anything away, and I personally don't want to be responsible for having given something away or having spoiled. I don't want to be responsible for having spoiled something for you. So please don't watch this if you have not both read the books and watched the show, or I mean at least have watched the show. And I mean, if you never plan on reading the books, then it's okay to watch this, but just make sure you've watched the entire show. But if you plan on reading the books and you want to know how they're different, then don't watch this. Basically, just know that this has a lot of spoilers from both the books and the show. So my review. Of course, I thought it was fucking badass, and yeah, so I guess I'll start with like the first thing on my mind, which is Shireen's death. Yeah, I'm really bad at the names because I listen to all of these on Audible, so I don't know how they're spelled, so I can't make the connection of like the spelling in my head. Yeah, I listen to every single Game of Thrones book on Audible, so if you want to do that as well, then go to audibletrial.com/rawsammy and you can get a free book, and you should get a Game of Thrones book. Okay, so yeah, so as far as Shireen's death, when it happened, I was very sad about it, and I almost started crying. It was awful. But then at the finale, it all came together, because then like the whole Stannis family was, or the whole Stannis everything was wiped out, except for God, I'm just drawing a blank on the names just for this video. Melisandre. So in the books, Shireen was not yet killed. At the end of the book, in the epilogue, I think they were talking about doing it. And then, I don't remember who it was, but they were saying it'd be like a mercy killing, and that they, you know, it's like they were trying to like convince the mom that it was like a good thing for her to be killed, because, and that they should have killed her as a baby, even because of how she was disfigured and stuff. But the mom like pleaded for them not to do it, and then they ended up not doing it, or it hadn't happened yet, I guess. So, I mean, maybe it would have happened in the next book, but it didn't happen. And then, but yeah, it happened in the show, and everyone was really disturbed by it. It was very disturbing. But I thought it was kind of fitting, even though it was disturbing, just because then it made it so that she was killed, the mom was killed, and Stannis was killed, so that they were done for. Which, you know, is terrible, because she was like innocent. She was very innocent and everything like that. I don't know, it all worked out in the end. It didn't work out well for them, but so the thing that happened with Daenerys, what I can remember is that you actually think she's dead for like a couple of chapters in the book. I wish they would have done this in the show. Like in the book, Drogon came up on the fighting pit and like started like just firing on everyone, even Daenerys, and so they thought that Daenerys had been burnt to a crisp. You know, that doesn't make any sense, since she's like able to withstand that stuff, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so everyone thinks that Daenerys is dead in the books. Maybe they'll do that in the show too, because she gets like captured by the Dothraki, I don't know. So maybe they'll think that in the show in the next season. But yeah, like as a reader, you think she had died until like a few chapters later, when, you know, the chapter starts out with Daenerys, because every chapter is like titled with the character. Not every chapter, but most chapters are titled with the character's name. So then you think she's dead, and you're like, is she dead? And then the title, the chapter a few chapters later is titled Daenerys, and you're like, okay, she's not dead. So it would have been cool if they would have done that show. It would have been like, it would have been cruel to the people who haven't read the books, because they would have, like, if they would have saved the reveal until next season, that would have been bad for those people. But then they would have just been asking people like who had read the books, like, is she really dead? And they've been like, no, she's not really dead. But anyways, and I mean, there are a lot of different things in the book, so I'm not going to go over everyone. I'm just going to go over the ones that I think are the most interesting to me. And, you know, everyone on the internet was freaking out after Jon Snow died, but everyone who read the books knew that it was gonna happen. And, you know, but we all still, you know, George R.R. Martin hasn't finished the series. That's the last thing that happens to Jon Snow, is that he gets stabbed, and you don't find out, like, is he actually dead? And of course everyone's like hoping that he's not actually dead, but, you know, but it's pretty likely that he did get killed, because there were so many fake outs. In the books there was a fake out with Sam, and there was a fake out with Daenerys, and like, you know, a few other fake outs were like, oh, everything, and like with Tyrion there was a fake out in the book too. I don't remember what happened, like he almost drowned or something, I can't remember. But yeah, there was a fake out with like so many different characters where like, oh, everything went black, and then they wake up again. And so like everything went black for Jon Snow after he got stabbed multiple times. But, you know, it's pretty probable that he's dead. Like, I was talking about it with my mom, and she was like, no, I think it's just a fake out. I think him and Daenerys are going to end up together. But, you know, Game of Thrones isn't exactly a fairy tale, so I doubt that's going to happen. I think, you know, he's his father's son, he was a good person, and he ended up dying because of his sense of doing what's right. You know, doing what's right doesn't always guarantee your survival. So even though he like rescued the wildlings, even though Eddard Stark stood up for the truth as far as who was the rightful heir to the throne, he got his head chopped off, and Jon Snow got stabbed to death. So it's just kind of how things go. And so I think he's really dead. The way that they did Cercei, her walk of shame or whatever, they did such a good job with that. It was like exactly how it was in the book, except in the book it was just like they went on and on about how like her boobs were sagging and how, you know, it was just a disgrace and no one would respect her anymore. They did a really good job on the show with that. And oh, and the stuff with Arya was amazing too. It was a little bit different in the books, and the stuff with Sansa was totally not even in the books at all, but I loved that stuff. I mean, it was awful how she was raped. That wasn't in the book. It was awful, but it's just like bad things are happening to everyone, so no one is spared. And yeah, I mean, it's all very brutal. Yeah, Arya was a badass when she murdered what's his face, I don't even remember, but that was fucking awesome. Anyways, I thought they did an amazing job. Yes, there were things way different than the book, but you know, you have the TV show and you have the book, and this was the first season where they departed from the book. At least this is the first season where they departed from the books drastically. You know, the last 4 seasons, they were like almost exactly like the books. So, you know, it was kind of interesting because then you, even if you had read the books, you didn't know what was going to happen, so it made it kind of more suspenseful in a way. Leave your comments below letting me know what you thought. And yeah, I thought Shireen's death was very disturbing like everyone else, but I think it all came together because then the mom hanged herself, which definitely was right on as far as her character goes, because in the book she was like pleading for her not to be sacrificed. So the fact that she was sacrificed, obviously she would have probably killed herself afterwards. So, and then, you know, Brienne killing Stannis was like so fucking awesome, so perfect, and so appropriate, because he was the one she wanted to kill because she wanted revenge. She wanted to avenge Renly's death. So anyways, yeah, so I don't know, it's hard to say everything I want to say, but I don't want to make this video entirely too long. I'll continue the discussion in the comments. If you guys have any theories about what happens to Jon Snow, I'd love to talk about that. And what happens to Daenerys, and I don't know, basically it's stuff that we don't know yet. But anyways, so I hope you guys have a really awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye! So in this video, I'm going to be telling you my zodiac sign, my Myers-Briggs personality type, and my Harry Potter house, and I'm gonna like do that on here for you. So okay, so while I'm doing this, okay, I think I need to buy, so this is kind of like a gaming video too, I guess.